Reading through the ages. Reading is a skill that we have been practicing for at least 5,000 years, and in today's world of digital information, it is one that we need more than ever. Technological advances in communication mean we are dealing with more written material than ever before. But what we read has changed dramatically over the centuries. One of the earliest known works of literature is the Epic of Gilgamesh, engraved in stone by Sumerians from southern Iraq nearly 5,000 years ago. The work is an epic poem which deals with the themes of heroism, friendship, and the quest for eternal life. Public pottery recycles were a popular event at the time, and it's not surprising that the first written texts, such as the Epic of Gilgamesh, were a version of the poem that could be heard in squares and theatres. In fact, the Iliad and the Odyssey by the Greek poet Homer are full of repeated phrases that had enabled the poets to memorize such long poems. However, as the poets quickly discovered, because the written word recorded everything, such devices became unnecessary, so they soon started experiment with written language. Many forms of literature that we recognize today were developed by the Greeks. Plato's writing made philosophy available to read in public, and Aristotle wrote a Poetics. A work of literary criticism is still studied by the screenwriters in Hollywood today. In fact, the Greeks produced so many styles and forms of literature that the Romans limited themselves to copying them and spreading the Greeks' idea across the Roman Empire. With the fall of Rome, Europe degenerated into the Dark Ages, a period of cultural stagnation, while the Islamic Empire flourished. Under the Caliph Harun al-Rashid, the Beit al-Hikmah, the House of Wisdom, was set up. The House of Wisdom was a kind of university and library that helped turn the empire's new capital, Baghdad, into the most important culture center in the world. Arab scholars pulled in the knowledge they had accumulated to start their own investigation and make their own discoveries. They also collected, preserved, and translated all the Greek texts they could. And despite the destruction caused by wars and natural disaster, we still have many of these texts thanks to the House of Wisdom and other Arab centers of learning. As the Golden Age faded, culture in Europe underwent a revival. It was the times of the Renaissance. There was a renewed interest in the works of the Greeks and development of new forms of writing, such as they say. However, literature was still mainly of the hands in the aristocracy and upper classes. The only social group that were literate that had time to read and write. Pottery became probably a pastime for wealthy, but all this was to dramatically change thanks to an invention of the great importance printing press. In 1455, the printing press was presented to the world by Johann Gutenberg. It had an immediate impact. The cost of publishing books dropped dramatically, and book prices thereful fell. Literature was no longer only available to privileged few. And the fact that more people had access to books also influenced what writers wrote about. Popular legends and folk tales were published, and texts written in prose started to appear in print. Um, It was the beginning of a revolution that was to make the reading is to make the make reading is an essential skill for everybody.